Hey, all you happy lost souls. How are y'all doing out there? First, I just want to say thank you all. The channel is growing. It's growing quicker than ever, and I think I have all of you to thank for that. Please subscribe if you haven't. The channel is, if you're just new and you're just finding it, the channel is just about this artifact collection in southeastern Pennsylvania that I've been working on researching for the last 12, 13, 15 years at this point. A couple other projects I'm working on, original music, philosophy, discussions. It's no politics at all, really no AI, sometimes some photos and help with research occasionally, but everything's unscripted, off the cuff, freestyle essentially. And I just want to throw that all out there. Also, I announced this on one of the last videos. There will be another contest, and I'll have a video describing and announcing the rules to that right around 2,500 subscribers, which we are fastly approaching. And as you also know, been working on completing this room and getting more shelving, and I just put together this shelf. It came in a bunch of little pieces. It was comical, but I want to get another couple of these shelving units. I'm trying to separate the artifacts by their groupings and by their patterns, and all that kind of stuff. It's slow. I'm a one-man show pretty much, and yeah. But these are just some of the different artifacts and different type of pendants, the woolly mammoth head and the horse and the seal and the little two-tone aluminum oxide or rough sapphire hammer pendant with its bigger counterpart down there. There's some echo-glite effigies, a boar head, a bear or beaver or some other type of animal, or turtle even, because the snapper turtle along that particular creek goes back 80 million years, something crazy like that, their lineage. So I'm getting there, but it is a work in progress. All this stuff is getting moved around and sorted, and it's got to get clean and dusted. Did a lot of rock dusting and polishing, so there's a lot of aluminum oxide dust, which isn't good to breathe in. I got to clean all of that. But it's a work in progress. But today really is a quick discussion on geology, and I'm always talking about the sapphire, aluminum oxide, corundum, and all the different types of silicates, microquartzes, cyclosilicates, beryls, the different gemstones that we can find in southeastern Pennsylvania down through Maryland into York because of the unique geology. And a lot of this is because of something known as a rift or rift valley. And if you live around Philadelphia at all, there's multiple points where we're directly in that rift. If you're in Valley Green through the Wissahickon, or if you're through the Pennypack Creek through the Huntington Valley, or through Sandy Hill, I believe it is, not Sandy Hill, Sandy Run stream that kind of is a feeder stream connecting the Pennypack to the Wissahickon. A lot of that runs underground too. The point being, we're all in this rift, and what a rift is, and why we have so much metamorphic activity and formation. You can just see all the different types of corundums, and banding, and different blue sapphires, and color changing and shifting, and a lot of them are in their form, and they're faceted, and you can really see the faceting on them. This is what they consider like green sapphire here. This is all rough, There's all types of silicates, different micas, different biotin within the schists. This is feldspars. There's different types of spatiated feldspars. And also, if I throw out terminology, sometimes I'm a little off because it's all off the top of my head. It's meant as a guide. Use it as a guide. But getting back to this Rift Valley and what happened, and you got to put this in the context of geology. This is some 200 million years ago. This whole area is covered by a warm, salty, tropical sea, essentially. And as these continents rip apart what was Pangaea, this megacontinent, where all the continents were once together, as it rips apart, all this tectonic activity, volcanoes, earthquakes, upticks, where literally faults are cracking apart and separating, and then the mantle is gushing upwards and then being exposed to the seawater. And when all these metals and minerals and clays get exposed to the seawaters and then slowly cooled, all the metals cool, and then oxygens are added to them, sulfates are added to them, salts are added to them, and you get all kinds of different formations. There's also kimberlite pipes, so you can get diamond formations. There's eclogites. There's all different types of metamorphic activity. And metamorphic means to change. It means it started as something and got changed into something else. It was a parent rock, and it was metamorphosized or changed into something else. And in my area, there is a lot of aluminum in the schists that got into the alluvial clays when everything was cooling after this separated and this valley was formed. And this ridge was formed with a valley in between where the old continent died, essentially, where they ripped apart. That's why the same geological formations that end here will continue in places like Scotland. That's why the same dinosaur fossils found on our coastline they'll find the other half of them over in the UK. So that's sort of just a quick synopsis of why all of the stuff is in the area. And when I did my studies in college down through the Wissahickon Valley and Valley Green, we studied strata and the banding. And what you learn really quick is the Earth is 4.2 billion some years old. So even 200 million is a blink of the eye. And so you have to look really big picture. And part of this channel is really to think critically and to keep an open mind. There's something called unconformity in geology, where you'll be looking at the strata where sediment was nicely laid down, and that sediment got compressed and heated and became rock and mineral over time. And each one of these bands represents a layer in time, and you can count nicely. But all of a sudden, the color changes in the banding and the angle, and you realize you're dealing with something called unconformity, where you got to think about it. What if there is a time period where the climate changed, or something was different where sediment wasn't being laid down? And then all of a sudden, 100,000 years or a million years or a couple 100 million years goes by, and then, the environment changes, and then sediment becomes laid down again. But you have this gap, and sometimes it can be a couple 100 million years or a billion years. Now there's a gap in the record. That's why when we're looking back in time, you'll often hear me say, nothing is for certain without a time machine. And these are all just using scientific method and using critical thinking to arrive at the best logical guess, essentially. But they're all still just the best logical guess. Well, anyways, I'm not going to make this a super long video because I haven't gotten too much more done on the rock room quite yet, but I wanted to update y'all and let you know that Happy Lost Souls is alive and kicking, and stay tuned for some more. And I appreciate all the new subscribers, and I want to shout out to everybody supporting the channel. As the channel grows, hopefully I can put more and more into it. You got to bear with me in these early days. Even though the channel's been up for a long time, it's just a labor of love. It's only been the last few years that I really started putting the stuff out there more and sharing. we get a lot of fossils. We got some fossils over here. You see some of the coral in the area. Remember I was telling you how it was a warm, salty ocean a couple 100 million years ago. And that's when all this started to occur, about 200 million years ago, the separation of Pangea, which is now Europe, Eurasia, separating from the continental plate, which, tectonics. We won't get into all that. That's deeper geological terminology. We already went over unconformity and strata and a little bit of that, and how metamorphic upticks in areas where you can find really cool gemstones can occur. But anyways, guys, thank you all. Please keep on spreading the message. Keep sharing, keep subscribing. I know I'm really bad at getting back to people that try to email Happy Lost Souls or reach out on Instagram. I just have a lot going on. I work. There's other stuff in my personal life. And you know how it is. This is life, and this is just a labor of love. So at this point, but anyways, guys, just stay tuned for some more cool stuff, and I hope you guys all chill. I hope you guys all well. Stay safe out there, and if you're lost, stay happy, because it's in those times that we find ourselves. Peace.